Hello, hello, hello. Good morning. For those of us who are on the West Coast, I guess it would be afternoon if you are not. Happy Thursday. This is our first live in the community and our first midweek grounding session. I'm going to take some time to intro myself, intro what this practice is and what grounding is, and then we'll get into a practice together. We'll be together for about 15 minutes, keeping it short and sweet, and then I'll let you go. For those of you who are catching the replay, welcome. Let me know how this feels for you when you're done. So to start, my name is Katrina, aka Callie. Many of you may know me by Callie through my Heal with Callie platforms. I am the owner and founder of Manifesting Me Wellness, a holistic therapy practice in Los Angeles. And I am also the host of the Community Care Lounge, which is our online community to share, to engage in community, and to have a place where we can engage in practices to help us keep healing, feeling well, feeling good, grounded, and to escape from some of the nonsense that is happening in our world today. So our midweek grounding practices are an idea I had to bring some grounding back into our weeks. We are living in a very, very tumultuous time. There's a lot happening. News is flying at the speed of light. We cannot really get our feet underneath us. And many of us are also dealing with a lot of personal challenges as well. So our midweek grounding sessions will be a short 15-minute or less long practice to help us to get grounded, to help us to stay balanced in all of this, and to keep coming back into ourselves throughout the week. So what is grounding? Grounding is a practice that we utilize in order to stay rooted, to stay stable or in balance. Some people might identify grounding as a practice to get back into your body. When we are in our bodies, we are more present. So grounding can be a practice of presence. Our grounding practices together, again, will be short. We'll keep them 5 to 15 minutes because I want them to be something you can utilize at any point in time. You can do this on your lunch break. You can do this on your regular break at work. You can do this when you're just taking a trip to the bathroom to escape whatever noise is happening around you. You can do this in a meeting. You can do this while your kids are running around, and you can do this at a stoplight, right? So I want to give you some practices that you can utilize in most times in your life. Some of our practices, you might need some tools or to have access to something in order to make that happen, some materials or external things. But for the most part, this will be a practice that you can access easily at any point in time. And we'll do them pretty much every week so that we can get an idea of what works for us and what doesn't work for us. Some of them will be more body-based to help us get really introduced to our bodies. Some of them might be more breath-based. Some of them might be a little bit more movement or more mindful, or what some people might consider a little bit more spiritual. So there will be a wealth of grounding practices that you can utilize. Try them all on, find the ones that work for you, save the videos that work for you and come back to them. Try new ones and see if they do work and they don't work. Great. If they don't, okay too, right? But we tried it. So this is a time for us to come into community together, to check in on how we're feeling, to get comfortable in our bodies, and to get really rooted and grounded in the midst of chaos. If you are in the United States, you know there's a lot of chaos going on in our government right now. And so this is a beautiful time for us to practice staying grounded, staying balanced, staying present. What I will do at the beginning of every grounding practice, I will provide us a chance to just check in. We'll do a scaling of 1 to 5. How are we feeling? And then we'll introduce the grounding practice. I'll show you how to do it. or walk you through how to do it as like an intro. And then when we're done with that, we'll do it together and we'll go for a few rounds so that you get a feel for how it's being experienced in your body and what's coming up. And then at the end, we'll check in. How are you feeling? Scale of 1 to 5. See if it helped at all. See if you noticed any shifts. See what's coming up. And then we'll close out together. My invitation is to do what feels good for you. Take your time. Be gentle on yourself. Every practice will not work for every person, and every practice will not work for every moment. So give it a shot and give yourself some credit for trying. So let's start with our check-in. I invite you to just take a moment to settle into wherever you are seated or laying down, just allowing yourself to get comfortable and just noticing your body. You don't have to do anything special. We don't have to change anything that is already happening in this moment. Just noticing. And we'll take inventory on a scale of 1 to 5, 1 being feeling pretty low, not feeling great, 5 being feeling really good. And that can be physically, mentally, emotionally, or spiritually. Check in with yourself and let me know where you're at on a scale of 1 to 5, 1 being the lowest, 5 being the highest. I think I'm at about a 4, 3.5, 4 today. I'm feeling some tension in my shoulders. I was a little rushed this morning, so I'm feeling a little antsy. But other than that, feeling pretty good. So I think a 3.5 to 4. Let me know where you're at the beginning of our practice. Feel free to drop it in the comments. And then we'll start our practice and we'll check in again at the end. So today's practice, really short, simple breath work, something that you can take with you wherever you are going and you can utilize in most spaces. It is a breath work that I really love and appreciate when I need to get grounded pretty quickly. Now, we can breathe, inhale, exhale. We all know that, right? This practice is a practice of extending the exhales, which is the way in which we get more grounded. Extending our exhales, making the exhales longer than the inhales allows us to have more grounding when we're breathing. So what does that look like? We're going to inhale for a count of 3, and we're going to exhale for a count of 4. Now, when you're practicing this on your own, you can extend these numbers. If you can go for 5 on the inhale and 6 on the exhale, that's great too. But we'll just start with 3 and 4. So we'll inhale and exhale. So you'll notice the exhale is just a little bit longer. The invitation is to try breathing through the nose on both and see how that feels. Many people like to inhale through the nose and exhale through the mouth. I invite you to do what feels comfortable for your body. Some of us prefer the exhales with the mouth. Some of us prefer the exhales with the nose. Some of us, it'll depend on whether we are sick or have some stuffiness happening in our sinuses. So do what feels comfortable in your body in this moment. We'll practice that one more time and then we'll do 3 rounds together. So again, we're inhaling and exhaling. Beautiful. So we'll go 3 rounds of that. So we'll just do 3 inhales and exhales, and then we'll check back in with our bodies. So get comfortable, settle in. I will count for us by showing the numbers like I did. And then I will count us down at the end, and we'll close out. So together, taking a long, big exhale, releasing as much air out of the body as we can. And then beginning, inhaling for 3, exhaling for 4, again 3, exhale for 4, last one 3, Exhale for 4. Beautiful. Take a moment to let the breath settle back in, coming back to normal. And then taking a few moments to check in with your body again on a scale from 1 to 5. How are you feeling mentally, emotionally, physically, spiritually? And that can be 5 being, I feel great and wonderful. 1 being, I'm feeling kind of off, feeling pretty low. I would say for me, I'm a little bit above a 4 now, maybe a 4.5. I feel a little bit less tension happening in my shoulders, and I definitely feel less frazzled than I did in the beginning. So that was our short grounding practice for today. A quick couple of minutes. This is something you can use at any point in time. So use this when you are in a meeting. Use this when you are stepping into the bathroom to just take a break, right? I'm a big proponent of going to the bathroom to take a break when you need to. Utilize this when you are driving. Utilize this when you are in the middle of working and it's getting really stressful. When you have to answer that email that's really getting on your nerves, or that coworker that's really agitating you, or whatever the case may be. Use this practice whenever you need to. And take the time to check in. Where am I at the beginning? Where am I at the end? Just to see if it has been helpful. 3 rounds is pretty short. I would recommend 3 to 5, depending on how you're feeling. So 5 rounds, you would just do 5 inhales and exhales. 5 tends to be the range that is pretty good for most people, especially if we're having a harder moment. And feel free to practice it multiple times a day. If you have to do this 15 times a day, great. As long as it's helpful and as long as it's keeping you grounded, that's all that matters. Okay? Please continue to take care of yourselves. I know that we are in a really challenging time and there's a lot happening. I look forward to seeing y'all next week. I won't be able to do Thursday next week, but I'm thinking about planning it for Wednesday of next week. So we'll do a midweek grounding. I also put on the schedule for us to do some journaling together on Monday. So please join me for that. And I will see y'all soon. Drop in the comment how this experience was for you. Where were you at the beginning of the practice? Where were you at the end of the practice? What did you like? What did you not like? What felt good? What didn't feel so good? All of that is helpful information and can help other people to understand where they're at as well. Again, thank you for joining me for this practice, and I'll see y'all next week. Take care.